Hey everyone, Christopher here, and welcome back to Fossil Forward Finds. Got a different kind of episode for you today. If you recall one of my earliest videos, I showed you how I sorted postcards into various special topics bins. Um, it just, for me, I find it to be an easier way to, or faster way to list postcards on eBay to move through volume. And, well, despite saying that, it kind of took me a while to get through my last selection. Uh, some of the topics, like for example, my United States topic last time was New Orleans. I had a lot of it. A lot of it was very basic, so it was a bit of a drag to to move through it all. But I did find some unique ones that I couldn't find comps for, so we'll see how those do. But I finally cleared out almost all the buckets over the weekend, so I pulled some new topics, and I thought I'd share with you. So let's get into it. All right, so first we're going to take a look at the United States bin. So this is the bin where I'll sort out usually specific cities. I usually choose a couple cities each time. In this case, I'm doing all of Mississippi, which is not much. It looks a little thicker because I use these to divide little subtopics. But when I was looking at my categories on eBay, my eBay store categories, I only have 25 Mississippi postcards listed at the time of filming this. So I figured, all right, let me go look at my Mississippi section, see what I have, pull out a couple cities, and it quickly became apparent that I just don't have a lot to start with. So I decided to pull all of them, or what in theory is all of them. I'll reiterate now and probably repeat myself a dozen times, but I don't expect perfection in this process. I still have at least one full box, roughly 700 cards that aren't sorted into categories yet. So I'm sure there's Louisiana or New Orleans in there. I'm sure there's Cincinnati, which I also did last time. There's probably more Mississippi. Um, as I sort that box, I'll pull them and try to get those listed so I keep those topics empty in the unlisted stuff. But I'm not worried about it. This is really just a way of moving through some volume faster. So um, just for an example, on one section in the Mississippi I have, you can see they all got the same back. They're all going to end up being different towns. Let's see, these are H.S. Crocker postcards. Um, yeah, they're all different towns. A lot of them are, let's see, Central Mississippi, Mississippi State University, State College. Um, but one thing that'll make it faster is that I don't have to keep redoing the brand. Um, let's see, they got slightly different. Um, they don't all have the same photographer, but even still, I can loop bunch those together, and that'll be another thing that'll make it a little bit faster. Obviously, that's not a big selection, so I could probably go and pull something else, but I'll probably just wait until I finish the Mississippi. Just kind of looking at my categories here quickly. Idaho, I only have 45 cards up for, so that could be a good option. Um, yeah, we'll see. But that's the U.S. cards. All right, so the next bin that I'm gonna talk about is my New York bin. Um, Again, as you probably already know by now, I live and work in New York State, so I try to cater to New York customers. It cuts down on potential shipping issues when most of your customers for a specific topic are going to be in state. Um, I have a lot of New York cards for that reason. I have 1,327 listed as of filming of this, and I probably have another like 1,000 unlisted at the moment. Um, Last time going through, I did Syracuse, New York. I think I did like the Catskill Game Farm and a couple other smaller towns in New York. This time I went through and pulled Buffalo. I honestly thought I had pulled Buffalo already, but I guess I really just listed a bunch of continental postcards of Buffalo, New York from the Albany show last fall. because I have a really good chunk of Buffalo standard size postcards. I don't really expect there to be anything wild and crazy in here, but that's part of this process as well, is finding out, is there anything good in an area. Actually, one of the things I was working on for New York State last time I filmed this type of video was Albany, New York, and that was a drag. I had a lot of Albany, and I don't think I came across a single one that was above average. And that's just going to be how it goes sometimes, but now they're up. I know, unless it's something really unique, I'm probably never going to buy Albany postcards on purpose. Just like I'm not going to likely buy New Orleans postcards on purpose, unless it's something that I don't think I've ever seen before or stands out. Addition to Buffalo, I pulled out what was left of Rochester, which wasn't much. I got a couple Continentals and then a few standards. Again, looks pretty basic. Honestly, I'll probably do better with the Continentals because they're not as common. Let's see, what else did I pull. So obviously New York City is huge, and I have a crap ton of New York City postcards, and if I just pulled New York City, I would never be done. So what I'm trying to do is pick various topics within the cities. Like I could do the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, Rockefeller Center. Last time I did United Nations. No surprises there, but it was a couple dozen cards I was able to get listed within, maybe an hour, if even. So this time, I don't really know why I chose it. I think when I was first starting looking through the New York box, I had a couple that showed up right away, so I just decided I would grab it. And that's the Riverside Church in New York City. Also, I guess, Grant's Tomb. So, only a few of those. I don't usually do well with churches, cathedrals, anything religious, typically, but, I'll toss them up there. What do you think I should do for New York City topic next time? Should I do Empire or Chrysler, Rockefeller Center? I've done Statue of Liberty in the past, though I know I still have a bunch more. So that's another option. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I pulled Fort Ticonderoga up in the Adirondacks. I did this in part because I thought I had a whole bunch more than I did, which, only a handful. But also, most of the holidays we have coming up are patriotic-related holidays, so I thought that would be a good one to get up there. And that sort of spoiler, my holiday bin is basically just George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and other U.S.-themed things like that, because we got 4th of July, Memorial Day, and, we got a ways off till Halloween, Christmas, and some of the other more unique holidays. And then often when I'm going through and picking for a topic, I'll sometimes find things that I just find interesting. In this case, I found One Extra Syracuse, so pulled that out. Generic scene, but it's got a greetings from on the back. I don't know if you can read that. Greetings from Cornwall, New York. Let's see. Greetings from Honeyo, New York. I don't know how to pronounce that. But you get the idea. I found another United Nations card I missed. Some more generic views. So just a few things that, I found interesting as I was going through, and add those to this listing. All right, so in the interest of time, I'm going to not bother showing you the holiday box or the foreign box. As I already told you, the holiday box is, I'm just kind of sprinkling in patriotic related postcards, American flags, presidents, things like that. And the foreign box right now has about 150 Japan QSL cards in it. You saw one of my earlier videos. I had bought a large lot of Japan QSL cards. I've listed, I think, a couple hundred at the moment. If I remember, I'll put it somewhere up there. And I will admit I haven't sold any yet. I do enjoy listing QSL cards. I do fairly well with some of them. For example, just last week, I listed one for $20 on auction, and I had a bid within, a half hour. I'll share more about that in a What's Sold video coming up. But in any case, for me, it's still something I like to have as part of my business. At the moment, I am finding that maybe Japan QSLs are not as popular as, for example, I do well with New Jersey for whatever reason. Um, in any case, that's what's occupying the foreign box at the moment. When I get through that 150, I'll probably switch to a different foreign topic, whether it be a different country QSL, because I do have some others, or I don't know. I still haven't sorted out how I want to do the foreign yet, because originally I tried doing, all right, I'm going to do all of a country, and I started piling up Germany in there, and it's just, I'll never finish if I do a full country at a time, unless it's, something that I have 5 of that country of. So if you have some ideas on how to do the foreign box, let me know. I was thinking maybe, okay, I'll do German bridges or French cathedrals or something like that, sort of niche down. But in any case, animals, animals, animals. I love animals. They're one of my favorite things to list. So for this section, there's a whole set. You can see maybe they all got the same back. Whole set of these fish postcards. And I've done pretty well with fish cards of this style that are a bit more um, presented almost like in a scientific way as opposed to just an art of fish. These are all couple color cards, and let's see. They look like they've all been photographed by Robert F. Wassman. And it looks like the same individual, Joseph T. Reese, provided all the fish. So that's kind of neat. But on the back, it's got, the name, scientific name, as well as some information about it. So this won't take long at all, because the only thing I'll be changing out in the titles or in the item specifics or anything really will be just the name of the fish and the scientific name. At the moment, I have 262 postcards listed in my aquatic/marine section. Most of those are dolphins, sharks, and whales, but quite a bit of fish as well. And then not so much really a topic, but I have a bunch of these jumbo postcards of animals. They're different brands, different backs, but I figured, try it that way, get these out of the way. I do reasonably well with jumbo cards, so I figured I'd just get these listed, and so they're not hogging up the space in my unlisted box, and they can get put away. So, anyways, you get the idea. So there'll be animals. The animals won't take long, and then I'll need to find another topic or two. So, what's your favorite animal? What animal should I go for next? Last time I did all the Dachshund puppy or dog postcards I had. I finished off Dalmatians, but I usually keep on top of those anyways because I have a buyer for those. And I did pelicans and flamingos. So, it could be as specific or non-specific as you want. In this case, fish non-specific, pelicans pretty specific. So those are the animals. Those won't take long, but those will be fun. Before I talk about the next box, I did have a question for you. If you've made it this far into the video, do you like this format where I just kind of go through all the special topics, or would you prefer if I kind of broke things out? For example, the U.S. box. I just did a video on my U.S. topic, and then can maybe show a little bit more information on sell-through rate, etc. for that topic, or if I have any cards I think are particularly interesting. I think that might be the way to go to cut down on video time, but let me know your thought. In any case, we'll finish up this video as I've already started it. Science and sci-fi box, probably kind of a odd choice for, or at least most people would think it's an odd choice. But if you don't know, even though I don't do much with it anymore, my background is geology and paleontology. So I still have an affinity for science and sci-fi. So grabbed a whole bunch of cave postcards for this round. This big chunk, Mammoth Cave, Kentucky, which I regrettably have never been to, even though I did all my graduate work in Cincinnati, so it was fairly close. But a huge chunk there. Caves typically don't sell that great, but again, this is something that I enjoy doing. These I also cross-list over on my district page, Sci-Fi Science and Sci Fi Marketplace, link down below. Um, so, I do this more for me. I grabbed what I had for Carlsbad Caverns, which I must have listed a bunch already because there's a lot less than I was expecting. A couple Continentals, and then your typical scenes. This one's a little different. It's not really a postcard, but it's like a little advertising piece of ephemera for some hotels near the caverns. So that's probably going to be actually the best thing in this collection there. And then the third cave I picked was one I haven't heard of before, Luray Caverns. Luray Caverns in Virginia. I don't know if you can read that. Most of these cards are, for all three topics, are linens primarily, some chrome. But in any case, it'll be fun for me to look at. I may end up pulling a few for myself. Garak, please don't destroy the ephemera or the computer. But yeah, let's move on. Let's get this video finished up here before it takes too long. All right, 2 more bins to go. I swear. I'll try to make it quick. This next one is my either art postcards or advertising. I have, I think, 2 boxes, so probably about 1,400, 1,500 advertising postcards I haven't listed yet. So naturally, I chose art postcards instead. Part of it was my last topic for art and advertising was I pulled, in theory, all the movie-related postcards I have, with the exception of, I think I have a chunk of French movie postcards that I just didn't really feel like tossing in the mix this time around. Maybe that'll be a foreign topic at some point. But so, like I said, I pulled some art postcards this time. The main category I was looking for, these are all cards from the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. So these are all nicely done. They all have the same type of back to them. So again, that should be fairly easy, fairly quick to list. Had a couple Continentals, not much. And while I was going through my real photos, I found it's Mellon Art Gallery in Washington, D.C. It's a real photo. I figured while I'm at it, since I'm doing some D.C. art cards, toss that one in there. And then also while I was sorting, I came through a bunch of, it's called the Victoria and Albert Museum. Here it is. One back for you. But I have a whole bunch of mostly Continentals. I believe this is I cha-chinged. I think these are based out of the UK. So that'll be a quick list. Let's see. I also have, what's this one? It's New York State Historical Association in Cooperstown, New York. But there was a series of cards from that. Nothing wild and crazy, I don't think, but we got to give them a try. I wasn't sure how many of those I was going to end up having. And then, as always, I grabbed a few cards of interest. These are Chessie Art Contest winner postcards. And they got on the back, they have who did the art, the age. So this was done by an 11-year-old, came in first place. I don't know about the boat, how old she was, but anyways, those were fun. Got this Egyptian card that looked neat. And I don't know. I don't know what these ones are here for. But in any case, a couple extra ones I just found interesting. Probably the next big art topic will be the Met in New York City. That's the other one that I have a bunch of. So I'll be doing that one soon. All right. Last but certainly not least is my special topic bin. So this is my wildcard bin where I can choose whatever I want. And I decided this time I'm going to try to finish off all the real photo postcards of people that I have. As I throw them all over the place, making a racket. I really enjoy listing the people postcards. I find them interesting. Coming up with like the different fashion descriptions or are they identified or not. Yeah. And I do fairly well. A lot of them I only go for between 7 and 10. I probably could get more if I waited longer or had better descriptions, but it's a work in progress. But I enjoy doing them, and I can usually get them relatively inexpensive because a lot of people um, don't don't deal with the people. They prefer the identified locations. Um, so I got a whole bunch of these. Some of them I keeping. So these are little bundles that I've gotten from Dave F. Brother on Whatnot. So I'll leave those in the bag until I list them, just so when I put my SKU, I can record where I got them from. It's not a huge deal, but it's nice to know what sources are working out well. And then I found while I was sorting, got these two continental-sized dirigibles, Zeppelins, whatever term you prefer. I know they can do well. I don't know if these particular ones, being continentals, foreign continentals, are of any good, but they're in my special topic. They'll probably get listed today. Um, so yeah, those are my topics I am currently doing. Again, let me know if you think I should break these into smaller videos from now on, talking about each topic in maybe a bit more detail. Um, yeah, do you sort this way? Do you just kind of grab cards and list them randomly? What's your strategy? So I'm going to get going. The cats are going crazy, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.